Good morning. I want to start a couple things. Number one, I know many of you here knew Don Banks, and just sending out our condolences to all of his family, his friends, and just praying for the Banks family at this time. And then on the flip side of that, I just want to shout out to our Soul team for being in the championship game. So wish them the best, and hope they can bring the championship home.
Doug, have you made a decision about Carson and Thursday and the first team?
I have not still. We're working through that. We got a personnel meeting later today, so we're still working through a bunch of stuff, and we got a lot of bodies we want to see in this game. So haven't made a determination yet.
What's the argument for, and what's the argument against?
Well, obviously for is it's been a while since he's been on the field, and want to get him that kind of that feel of being back on the grass again in a competitive live situation, and then obviously the reason for holding him is to still evaluate Nate and some of the other quarterbacks with Cody and Clayton. So those are the things we're working through, and we'll let you know as soon as we get the answers.
You've held Peters out in the past. Does that mean Dilworth's going to be starting at left tackle? Is that fair to say?
It still falls in the same boat. We haven't made that. Again, Jason's another one that's needs to be on the grass a little bit, and be in a competitive situation. So we're working through all that, but Andre obviously will play a lot.
What do you want to see out of Clayton on Thursday?
Clayton?
Yeah.
Just to see where he's at mentally. We've thrown a lot of volume at these guys. Really, the whole playbook in training camp is available. Now we whittle it down to just a handful of plays, and just how he handles and commands the huddle, how he executes, what he sees defensively. Just run the offense, and that's all we can ask for a young quarterback in his first game.
He had looked like he had kind of a rough start to camp. He's been throwing the ball maybe better lately. What do you think has been the?
I just think it's confidence with the offense. And again the trust with the guys he's working with. It's a slow progression, obviously, with young quarterbacks and really young players in general. But he's getting real comfortable with what we're doing, and. You got to remember that every time he steps out here, it's a little bit of a new day, from the standpoint of what we're throwing at him, situationally. And he's handled it really well, and want him to carry it over into the game.
Doug, with someone like Deshaun Jackson, does the same apply in that he really doesn't need game action? The biggest thing is to keep him healthy going into the season.
Yeah, that's the fine line with all your starters or the guys you project, for opening day roster. But again, someone who hasn't worked with Carson, and if it's an opportunity, great. Things we're going to work through, and we'll find out Thursday.
One of the main unanswered questions about Nate Sudfeld is he just hasn't played much in real life football. How much can the preseason be an indication of what he can do, or do you have to go with Carson?
I think it can be a really good indication, for him. The goal would be to get him as much time as we can, behind center in these 4 games, and and I don't want him to feel like there's any kind of pressure, but there's always pressure to just go perform and just play, and he's very comfortable with the offense. I think by cutting it down too, the volume of information, even for a guy that's been here, can help when you cut the volume down, and just again want to see him. Just manage the team, manage the offense, execute the offense, get us in the end zone, and do the things that he's capable of doing. And I think that there kind of shows you what he can do possibly in the regular season.
What have you seen from Nick Garrett so far through camp? How does this situation change with Camus?
Yeah, obviously unfortunate with Camus, but with Nate, it gives him a great opportunity now to really crack in there with the ones and show his ability. He's a very smart football player. He's athletic. He's a core special teams player, so he's going to get a lot of opportunity. But he's filled in nicely.
So, what kind of intricacies are you looking for out of a rookie running back like Miles Sanders? Not necessarily chunks of yards, but within the framework of the offense. What do you look for out of him?
Yeah, it kind of falls in line, I think, with anybody. It's just the execution, hitting the hole, being patient. Obviously, hanging on to the football when he's tackled. Even some of the bright spots we saw the other night at the link practice, where he was able to jump cut and circle the defense and use his acceleration and get in the end zone. Those are things you want to see carry over into a game, and give him an opportunity to do that.
With
positions are you going to be most trained on, for this first preseason game?
Really, all of them. We're evaluating everybody. It's not just one position. I think as we get deeper into camp, we can focus more on certain guys or certain positions. But right now in this first game, with a lot of opportunity for a lot of guys, just evaluating the whole team and kind of seeing where we're at after 2 weeks.
Along those lines, we just got like 2 new cornerbacks in Scandrick and Cyprian and stuff. Do you expect to see that Thursday night, or what do you think?
Yeah, again, I mean, just getting comfortable with the defense, and being back out on the grass in a live setting like that in a game situation, and then their role on special teams as well. I mean, they're older players that have to contribute both ways, defensively and on special teams. So it'll be good for them to get out there too with a new set of guys, new team, and again execute the defense.
Doug, I get you haven't made your decision yet, but in these past few years, I think last year was about 13 snaps, the year before was 15 snaps, the year before that was just one drive, it was only 3 snaps. Has your thinking changed in terms of first teamers? Like, are they definitely going to play the starters?
Well, we haven't made that determination yet, but you look around at other teams, what other teams have done in the preseason. I take all that information in. I look at how our team practices during the week. Our starters get most of the most of the reps, in practice. So I got to look at all of that, and that's why I haven't really made a decision yet. Outside of the guys that are nicked and hurt and that won't play, but there's a fine line between how much rest and how much push, and so that's the thing we're working through right now. But I'm taking all that into consideration going into this first game.
Have you been happy with the way preseasons have gone in your past few years here?
Yeah, I have. The way the starters have approached at least these first couple games, they've been into it. They've been attentive. Obviously offensively, we try to get at least a touchdown or 3 points in that opening drive, and defensively, we try to get a 3 and out a couple times. But so I've been pleased with how they've started, and it's also part of the emphasis too on, how we start games during the regular season, being able to put your starters out there and start games fast, and it's all part of our process, part of our progression in preseason.
Is Vaitai going to be playing right guard in the game?
Yeah, because Brandon obviously can't go yet. Yeah.
But you're not looking at tackle.
No, because again, he's another one that we got to see at right guard, and we know what he can do at tackle, obviously, and it'd be a good opportunity for him.
Doug, how different will it be for Jordan Mailata this preseason? He was still learning the game last year. How different do your expectations change for him going into this?
Yeah, well, our expectation is obviously a little bit higher and a little more for him, because he's been here a year now, and he's getting a lot of time out here in practice, and he's done some great things. And so this will be a great opportunity for him to get in the game, be able to kind of slow things down in his mind, just execute the calls, run or pass, and just, again, a part of that evaluation of the offensive line. Okay, thanks.
Doug said he hadn't made up his mind yet whether you're going to play getting snaps Thursday night. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean it's his decision. I'll be ready either way. Whenever it is that when we get out there, I'll be ready. I'm excited for it. So again, it's his decision, and he's gonna keep that to himself until the time's right.
How much work do you feel like you need in the preseason?
It's always a fine line, and I think I mentioned it last time. My preseasons have looked vastly different every year, so I don't know if I really have a formula for it. I think a little bit is helpful, but it's definitely never needed. So again, I'll trust coach to make those decisions.
What about being able to get out onto the field for the first time since last December with the back injury? Is that something you want to do, experience getting hit and all that?
I'll be fine. I'd love to go all year without getting hit at all. That'd be terrific. But when it happens, it happens. Whether that's in preseason, week 1, week 2, it doesn't really matter to me. I know my body's ready for it.
Carson, after practice, saw you working out with a couple of guys extra, specifically JJ. How's he coming as a rookie? And you guys had a couple of conversations there.
Yeah.
What's some of the messaging you're giving him? Is he struggling?
Yeah, he looks good. Just keep developing that trust with each other, that chemistry on. I've said it a lot with Deshaun, with Alshon, and just always talking through kind of what you're feeling and what you're expecting. You can go out and run things against the defense all day long, but you got to be on the same page. So he looks good. He's learning fast, and he'll be a big part of our offense as well as all the weapons that we have.
Carson, after the open practice Thursday night, you got kind of mobbed there by the fans, and you're signing as many as you could. After you practice here today, the same thing happens. What's it like as the Carson Wentz persona grows? I mean, you're almost becoming a rock star in this town. I'm sure you want to sign everything, but what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. It's definitely different, but it's really cool and really humbling to see the support and the love that I receive really at the link, here at practice, kind of all over. And like you said, I want to get to everybody. I want to sign, especially the kids. I want to get to all the kids and sign their stuff, but obviously I got a job to do too still. So, but it's definitely humbling, and I don't take it for granted.
Carson, 2017 was the only time you really played the whole preseason, or I guess what started with plays, was also your best season. Are those two things related, or were other factors involved?
There's just a lot of factors in that. I'm not going to say one way or the other on that. I think preseason's helpful, but I don't think it's a necessity at the same time. So no matter how much I'll be out there, I'll be confident in week 1.
You guys have had a lot of different running backs roll for you over the last 3 years. What jumps out at you about Miles Sanders? What's your first opinion?
I mean, first of all, with Miles, he's explosive. You see him out of the backfield, catching the ball in space, making one cut, slash type running back. And like you mentioned, we've had a handful of different running backs every year, and we got another one in Jordan Howard this year that I'm really excited to see him as well. I think both those guys, as well as the guys that we've had over the years, are going to bring quite the dynamic in the backfield.
Do you remember the first preseason game you had a chance to run out that ton of the link, and what are these guys like Miles and Andre and experience, and what's your advice for them?
Yeah, just take it in. I think they all got to see it a little bit the other night when we had the open practice, so you got to just feel the energy a little bit. Obviously not quite to the same level. Preseason won't even be quite to the same level as week 1, so I think it's good for them to just kind of feel that anticipation and that build up to the regular season. And so but just got to remind those guys it's still just football. It's still the same game that we practice out here every day, and as much as you can, cherish that, but block it out and just play ball.
Carson, you were Mike the other day in practice, and you were laughing and said, I don't just want to throw it 70 to Sean, give the fans what they want. And that's what they want to see on Thursday. They're going to see that.
Again, we'll see. We'll see what coach decides on playing time and all of that. And, it's one of those things. I'd love to chuck it deep to Deshaun every play. That'd be terrific. But he's going to help this offense and open up a lot of things. And we got a ton of weapons. So that was in regards to a specific play, but the way they made it look, it was pretty funny.
That's interesting. Watching from the sideline, it seems your timing with Deshaun has improved over this 2 weeks. Is that fair to say? And what went into that?
Yeah, timing with all these guys grows every day. Timing, chemistry, like we mentioned, just talking after practice, watching film together. All those things are a big factor in executing out on the grass. And so with Deshaun being here in the spring and everything, that helped a ton with just building that chemistry. And so same goes with all the guys. So it's been good just developing that trust.
Carson, obviously Deshaun's a deep threat, but we see you guys working on underneath stuff with him, get the ball in his hands and let him use his speed. You just talk about his his value doing other stuff in the offense?
I think that's what I've kind of been most pleasantly surprised since he's been here is his ability to do things with the ball after the catch, underneath routes, crossing routes, a lot better route runner than people give him credit for. Everyone just thinks he's a deep threat. So he creates separation on a lot of different routes. So he'll be a game changer and really dynamic playmaker for us.
Talking to Jason Peters, he was saying how important it is for him to kind of leave a legacy and impart wisdom on guys like Andre before he steps away from the game. Do you see that in him and how he's trying to grow?
I do. I see Jason ever since I got here really as that kind of veteran presence, that leader. He's quieter oftentimes. I'm sure, especially to you guys. You see him over there, kind of stays to himself. But out here on the grass and in meeting rooms, and you definitely kind of see him take guys under his wing and be that kind of veteran presence in that O-line.
Carson, have you given any thought, now that preseason is about to begin, to the prospect of an 18-game season and what that would mean? And what do you think of that?
I haven't given any thought to that. We got 16 games regular season this year, and I'm focused on that fully.
Hey Carson, I know you don't make a decision in terms of how much you play or if you play, but you put a lot of thought in this stuff. What thought have you put into how to best prepare for the season? Is that something you
Yeah, so I'll say, I think Coach, he's done this before. He's done it as a coach. He's done it as a player. He kind of knows what guys need, and in conversations with me and with some of the other guys, I feel good about the plan that he's going to have here either way, no matter what it looks like, and kind of just take the thinking out of it for myself and do what he says.
You studied other quarterbacks because it seems, when we discussed the last press conference, that some quarterbacks were really scaling back in the preseason. Is that something you looked at?
Again, every coach has their own kind of method. Every quarterback has their own kind of plan, and a lot of it's just dictated by what coach thinks. So that's how we're going to treat it.
Carson, we talked a lot about body change and things you've done this offseason. So when suggestions were made about ways to go about it, not just lifting and running, standard things, whether it's yoga or different ways to do it, how do you respond to that? Was that a new age, or were you like, no, I want to try?
No, it was different. I kind of went into this offseason with an open mind with some of these things, from nutrition, from kind of everything you just mentioned, from training regiments to just different mobility things, kind of the whole 9 yards. And I just kind of went into it with an open mind and said I want to not just get healthy but stay healthy. And so it's been good, and I've had a lot of really good people in my corner helping me guide me down this path. Thank you, guys.